Federal law has protected workers from age discrimination since the Age Discrimination in Employment Act was passed in 1967. However, age discrimination complaints have increased over 30% since 1997. What do you do if you feel you've been discriminated by your employer because of your age? Here to discuss this is my law partner, Mike Solomon.
Hi, Lori.
Hey, Mike. So what are the basics about discrimination law?
Okay, well, if you're 40 or over and you work for someone who has 20 or more employees, federal law protects you and you can't be discriminated against based on age. That means they can't make hiring decisions or termination or benefits or pay. Age can't be considered. And Ohio has a very similar law for 4 or more employees, so most people can be covered by one form or the other.
And I'm assuming that when you're employed, your employer doesn't come up to you and say, "You're old, you're fired."
No, it doesn't happen that way.
How can you kind of see the signs of it?
Well, a typical scenario would be when employers have to start cutting back employees. Then they're going to try to look to cut costs. Maybe they'll get rid of the older employees who are higher paid or have more expensive health insurance. There was a case with DSW, it's a shoe retailer, and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission filed a lawsuit against them on that exact fact pattern. They cut back workforce. They said they cut back the older workers, and they settled for $900,000. Now, DSW didn't agree or concede that they committed any discrimination, but
they had to pay the money.
They had to pay the money.
That was a big hurt for them, I bet. How about when you interview for a job? How can you tell if they're looking at you with some discriminatory eyes?
Well, it's almost impossible when you're interviewing for a job. And the employer can't ask, well, how old are you? But they can see you, and they're going to have an idea how old you are. So, and if you're not hired, it's going to be very hard to determine why you weren't hired, and you won't know who they hired really in your place.
What their age is.
That's right. So it's going to be hard. Now, if you're already employed there, and the employer is making a cutback of workforce, and they're having a bunch of separation agreements, then they have to tell you the age of the people they let go and other facts about that, and the age of the people they retained, and then it might be a little bit easier to determine, if age is a factor.
Okay, so what do you do if you feel you are the victim of discrimination in a job situation because of age?
Well, you've got a couple things. You could file a complaint with either the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission or the Ohio Civil Rights Commission, and the telephone number might be on the screen there. There it is, Ohio Civil Rights Commission, 216-787-3150. There's a website there, and also the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and the number is 216-552-2001, and the website's up there also. Or contact an attorney. But you have to address this quickly, and there are lots of complicated issues. If you file with the Ohio Civil Rights Commission, you could end up losing your ability to sue in court, or if you wait past 6 months, you're going to lose some rights. So you need to be very careful on this. Don't sit too long on your rights.
All right, good advice. If you think you've been fired or not hired because of your age, don't give up and don't delay. See if the law protects you. For help, give Mike a call. The number's coming up next.
Call Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information, or to schedule a speaker for your organization, or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.